Hello, welcome to this episode of the Mayhem Lab. Today, Kevin decided to stop by, so that's a first in a while. But what we're going to do is try to implant the fake hand that I made in a previous video. All right, so like we talked about in previous videos, created the version 2.0 of the hand. I was just showing it off to Kevin here, so it's much nicer. I still haven't made 3.0, working on that. But yeah, we were going to try to actually implant an RFID chip in it, so that should be fun. So what we got is just a needle that we used in the past. Never reused needles. It's an artificial hand, so I'm not too worried about it. Have RFID chip, so it's T7755, or is it 55777?
Something like that.
It's 2 5s and 2 7s. I don't remember the order.
It's 5577.
So we're just gonna load it in there, obviously being extremely careful since well, it's a needle. So let's get it jammed down in there. Switch over to our other camera. Move the cord. Okay. So let's see what this looks like.
And the goal when you're doing it for real is to kind of get it between the skin and the muscle. Like, it's a mistake to get it down in the muscle.
Yeah, no,
I'm assuming.
It's a very valid point. So normally if you were doing this for real, I'd be pinching up the skin and sort of pulling it. It's not really an option here since it's artificial. So we'll just plunge in. Put it pretty deep. So you can see actually the needle would go in almost all the way and not even really get to the back of the hand. So we'll just inject the chip, pull it out, and there you go.
Very nice.
That's it.
It was more painful earlier today when you did it for real on me.
Kevin received his first RFID implant, so he has joined the cyborg human race.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I'm a robot now.
We're not going to go into that. All right, so let's jump over to our monitor now that we have that. Actually, no, let's jump back to the camera first. So we've got the implant. Let's see if we can see that. So we've got, there it is.
So why is that? That's kind of sounds like the first place people generally will put a chip.
Yeah.
Why is that the preferred kind of?
So it's a great question. This is a preferred location between the webbing between your finger and thumb. There's very few nerves in this particular section of your hand. Your nerve clusters for your hand are actually on the top. And obviously your skin has nerves and it's sensitive and things right here, but there's no nerve cluster to hit. It's all basically just tissue and muscle. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a really good spot. So
do we need a Band-Aid for the hand?
Should we band it up? No, it's not lifelike enough to bleed.
Okay.
But I think that maybe that's like version 5.
Version 5
is,
you're getting the Mythbusters territory really there. Already kind of is.
I'll give Adam a call later and be like, "Hey, how do you make fake humans bleed?" All right, so let's got my Proxmark set up over here. It's just the I forgot the number on this. The RDV version, Proxmark3 RDV. It's a development version, so it's not the latest and greatest. It's a little rev behind, but still works extremely well for this kind of stuff. So now that we have this implanted, let's do low frequency HID read, which puts the Proxmark basically into a continuous loop of reading things. So let's see if we can. There we go. We can read it. Check that out. And you know what? I'm pushing about as hard on this, anecdotally of course, I'm pushing about as hard on this skin as I do on mine to read my tape.
Okay.
So it feels, that gives me a lot of hope.
It's very similar to
it's very similar, yeah. So now the next big experiment is going to be figuring out how deep it is. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do that.
Oh, exactly how deep it is now? Or
yeah.
To be able to...
Well, because when I do my studies, my research, I need to be able to reproduce it, and needs to be repeatable.
Yeah.
And also I need to be able to change it. What happens if I put it in at a 90-degree angle or 45, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the next big question is how I do that. Now, my first thought is just simply hack it up and measure it with a ruler or something, right? Micrometer or whatever. That would obviously work. But then I sort of destroy the hand, right? It's kind of one use.
Yeah.
Right? Takes me about a day to build one of these hands. So, not that I can't do that.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of effort for one chip. The other thought too is possibly ultrasound. I'd love to get my hands on a CT machine. If anyone's got one of those I can borrow, that'd be great. But I think that would be the perfect way to do this, is actually put it into a CT machine, scan it, and then render it in 3D and see exactly where it is. But without having access to that kind of equipment, probably going to have to do it with an ultrasound or, you know, I don't think an X-ray is really going to help.
Yeah.
So,
wonder if you could take a very sharp sewing needle, paint some type of paint or something on it, such that when you stick it in until it touches, pull it back out, it pushes the paint back to the level of
yeah, make
skin.
like that's an interesting idea. I wonder if I could make a needle-sized ruler.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, with gradients on it, yeah.
And just stick it in, and then I can measure
Read
it that
it,
way.
yeah. That's a good idea.
Maybe maybe a job for the 3D printer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can print something that sharp though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Or even, you could have some kind of needle where the gradients are at the top, and you're just reading how far you're pushing it in too. So you don't have to scratch in the needle; you scratch it on some tube that the tube presses against the skin. The needle goes in, and then you're just looking at where the head of the needle is how deep you've pressed it in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Use the other end of the needle as the measuring gauge.
Yeah, against marks on a ruler,
almost like
or
a syringe.
something.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, so definitely some stuff to play with, things to try out, but I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I mean, I think
and the ultimate goal is just to get a better understanding of orientations and depths and
right. So obviously this is towards the top of the skin. You can use this, if you were getting in, into the door or something, right? The quote unquote security aspect of this is now with this chip on the top of the hand, is this easier to steal from a cybersecurity standpoint?
Yeah.
What if I put the chip towards the palm side? Could I still use it as easily? Would it interfere with the grabbing?
Yeah.
Any muscle or tendons or anything down here? Does that make it more secure, etc.?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of experiments I want to do.
Nice.
So, awesome. Yeah, that was kind of it. I guess it worked really well. So, the experiment.
Who would thought you could stick a needle into some gelatin?
I know, and it just worked the first time. Crazy, and it didn't even scream or anything.
Yep.
Cool.
No tears.
No tears. Well, great. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully that's interesting to you guys. If you have questions, comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to like the video if you like this kind of content, and subscribe. See you next time. Kevin, what you doing?
Clicking.
We're supposed to be making videos, you know that?
Clicking. It's so satisfying. Do you hear that clicking?
I mean, it's fun. But don't you want to make more videos?
No, I want to click.
Okay.
You know what? People could click like.
They could. And then subscribe.
And subscribe and comment on the videos.
Yes.
Do that while I click.
Click.